Hey everybody, my name is Ivica. Thank you all very much for being on my latest Fortnite Creative beginner tutorial that will show you how you can create or add bots, more precisely wildlife, monsters and guards to your Fortnite Creative island. Now first of all, I'm going to explain in short terms that there are technically no bots in Fortnite Creative. So if you're entering the content and go for devices and search for bot, you won't get anything, because bots or artificial intelligence NPCs are broken down into several categories. We're going to go through them all. First, we're going to add wildlife. And here you have a wildlife spawner. It basically creates animals. The second option is to get bots as human figures that are armed, which are guards. And you have guards for guard spawning. These create characters that have weapons and are basically humanoids. And the last is the monster spawner, but it's simply called creature spawner, and you can find it here. It allows you to create or spawn monsters that can be either melee or ranged, but are basically all, let's say, monsters that are roughly humanoid, but unlike the humanoid guards, these cannot be given weapons, while guards can be given specific weapons that they can use. So let's try out all of these. First of all, we're going to set a wildlife spawner. When we enter it, we can customize it, and there are types of animals that you can create: raptors, air sprite. Not all, of course, are true animals. Some of them are basically invented, like sky jelly, but you have things like chicken and so forth. You have a load of options that you can kind of figure out and set, but basically these create animals. Also, their behavior is also influenced by the way that you set up in the all options. What do you expect them to do? Should they attack the player? Should they be in the same team as the player? Should there be, what's pretty much the easiest option is to set them to wildlife and enemies, so they basically attack anyone, but all of that is kind of self-explanatory in the spawner itself. The next thing we're going to set is the guard spawner. We have our guard spawner here. Again, when we enter it, we have different types of guards that we can use. Also, we have different options for the number of guards we want to spawn. This is basically the same through any kind of spawner that you use. Also, team index, you have here team wildlife and creatures, meaning that they basically attack anyone, and a lot of other options. This is pretty important. You can add weapons to your guard spawners. You do that by entering into the content, go for weapons and search for guard. And you have, for example, this sprite guardian, which you can then drop. And once you drop it, it's there for the guard to use. There are other options. Some weapons are available to guards, others are not, but you can figure that out through the content menu, and kind of the simple explanation for each weapon, is it available or not for the guards. For example, any kind of melee weapon is not available because guards need to kind of get into combat, at least in Fortnite Creative. There's probably a way to get around that in UEFN. And finally, we have our monster spawner or creature spawner that we set here, where you can then change the type of creature you want to spawn. You have Fiend, Red Fiend, Brute, Red Brute. A lot of these are ranged, as you can see. Ranged brutes or creatures will attack you with a kind of a grenade that they throw at you, but it's not changeable. You can drop any weapons into the same spawner. So you have a lot of options. Again, number of creatures, any kind of limits when it's activated and so forth. We're all going to clip those because I don't want to get into the details, but this is basically the three type of bots that you can summon. Like I said, animals, guards and monsters or creatures that are all available as basically bots. So let's check this out in the game itself. We're entering the match, and once we get into it, we should see these spawn around us. As you can see, here are the ice brutes that are throwing stuff at us. Here are the guards, and lastly, here are the chickens as well. And as you can see, if I'm going to run away, there's going to be some interaction, as all of them are trying to attack me. Okay, chickens are probably not, but the guards and the brutes are. In the same time, they kind of are shooting at the brutes, so the guards are killing the brutes unintentionally. Or you can set that to intentionally if you'd like to have that ability of having the brutes and guards get into a conflict, basically, regardless of the player's activity or position. There you have it, a pretty simple, pretty straightforward process, several types of spawners, all of them provide you with your bots. It's up to you to decide where and how you want to deploy them and how you want to use them. That's all from me, thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, please consider supporting me through a range of means. First one is my Patreon page that you can check out in the description below. Then you have my channel membership that you can also check out below the video. You have my books on Amazon, including my best-selling book, which can help you overcome procrastination, believe it or not. And finally, the cheapest, fastest, easiest way to support me is just to subscribe to my channel and be here for my new clips. That's all for me, thanks a lot for watching, have loads of fun in your Fortnite creative adventures, and I'll see you on my next video. Until then, bye bye.